Hi and welcome to this short video on why you should use the Connect strategy put together by Standout Teaching. So the first thing to understand is, what is wrong with the traditional ways of delivering literacy, and in essence there isn't a huge amount wrong with it, okay? The strategies that are often used, the tools that you use within lessons are actually really good, but often what happens is there's a lack of consistency. And it's this consistency that impacts upon the students' understanding of literacy and why it's actually useful. If you look at traditional ways of actually delivering literacy, what I have actually found is that within schools across different departments, different subjects and so on, there are many different ways, to deliver the same thing. And from a teacher's perspective, it's great. We deliver it the way that we feel comfortable with, and often we feel that that works really well. But the problem actually comes from the fact that the students have to learn multiple ways to do the same thing. Well, this is not the way that we really should be teaching. We should be looking at teaching from the perspective of the students. And this is why the traditional way of teaching literacy, falls short of the mark. So there's the multiple approaches to doing the same thing, and then often, believe it or not, across schools there is no sharing of the key strategies for teaching literacy. We often presume that non-academic subjects or practical subjects know how to teach literacy, and yes, they do in some respects, but they don't know how to do it the way that the more traditional academic subjects such as English and humanities do. And as a result, this is where we get this conflict of interest of how do we actually deliver literacy within our lessons. Another thing to consider is traditional literacy techniques are often teacher focused. The expectation is that teacher tells the student how to do something and the student goes away and does it. What we need to consider is how do we reverse this, because it should be the student making these decisions, not actually the teacher. And as a result of this, what we then find is that students find it very difficult to transfer skills they have learnt between different subjects and different topics. They've learnt something, but they're not using it, in other ways. And as a result, we end up repeating things, repeating the teaching, rather than asking students to use a skill, that they actually already know. So why Connect? Connect was put together to actually rebrand literacy and put it into a format that students could identify with, and transfer between subjects. It's putting this branding which students are very used to. You think about how they are bombarded by advertisements day by day, and put it into a form of branding that they can easily recognise. They go into a subject, they see the branding, they immediately know, this is literacy, this is something I've used elsewhere. Connect is also based upon not just branding, but also on identifying a select range of strategies that students can use within their lessons, these tools, the Connect tools. Another thing that Connect actually does, is it encourages teachers to think about when they use literacy. Often literacy is used within the main lessons activities. When you think about it, we should be using it constantly, even in more minor activities. Literacy should be present within plenaries, within starters, within questioning activities, and something that's often overlooked quite disappointingly is through discussions. Why are you not giving key words to students when you're asking them to talk about a subject? It's things like this. Give them openers, give them connectives to use as well, and that extends the discussions. So Connect is not only about the strategies, it's about when they are actually used. So something for you to consider when you go away and you start looking at our Connect strategy and thinking about how to use it, Do your students currently know what their literacy skills are, Are your literacy skills or your literacy teaching implemented at a point in the lesson when it is required, Or is it just specifically left to the main lessons activity? And finally, is literacy within your lessons, within your department, within your school consistently delivered? Now, if you're an individual teacher, you should really be thinking about, do I give my students opportunity to go back and reuse those skills, okay? Practice them until they become experts within those techniques. If you need ideas, if you would like ideas and techniques on how to develop literacy within your lessons, take a look at Standout Teaching's Connect strategy, okay? And what you'll find there is lots of tips, ideas to take forward your literacy teaching within your lessons.